are. I do want to share this out. Okay, so Veteran Nation, Shady. I'm just putting this in all the groups. Hold on here. Sorry. I'm trying to get this link out to everywhere. There we go. Send that out to a couple different people. How are you all today? I'm broadcasting with the tablet today. I've had an interesting morning already. Not as interesting as the other day with the thief. Just been talking to people. Things are progressing on different fronts. I think we might have a name for the group of those of us who are YouTube veterans who stream onto YouTube, so that we can improve veterans' lives and have an organization. Because see, a lot of these veterans organizations like the VFW and the American Legion, they do a good job when it focuses on veterans care or getting us more money and stuff like that for our disabilities. The problem is a lot of those organizations also are seeking to preserve themselves. Hey, good morning. Good morning, T. I'm sorry, I'm not set up for my chat. There we go. So that's a little bit better for me. So yeah, some of these veteran organizations, they're very self-serving, and there becomes, like I've had people ask me about my service dog, and they're like, "What'd you do through the VA?" I'm like, "Well, back then the VA didn't do anything with service dogs. Service dogs, the VA just was like, yeah, we're not going to touch it." Now they're doing a little bit with it, but Custom Canines got me glory. They separately were getting grant money, so every veteran they place a dog with, they get more grant money and are able to then help more people who are not veterans with disabilities. So that's how they operated. So these are the type of gaps that exist for veterans and how other organizations come into film. And I know a lot of people think the VA does it. A lot of people think, well, the American Legion does that. Now, what you find is, these organizations, if they do it, it's very cookie cutter, very basic. Like they do some like unmet needs stuff, which I think is great. And that's why I've told, veterans, like I'm a lifetime member of the VFW. And I've, solely because that's the only thing that's out here near me. I've got to drive over an hour to get to the American Legion that I'm a member of. There's a very small DAV presence out here. So that's really my only option. But I joined as a life member. It was like just less than $400, which they take in installments. But I always have the VFW to go to. Oh, let's see. Is this? I got someone sending me a. Oh no. This is someone sending me a video. Let's see what this is. And oh, okay. This is one about copyright infringement. Okay, sorry. I thought someone was sniping my live. I was like, oh, this will be hilarious if someone's doing that, because so there's a couple Jeremy Hales haters who come after me. In fact, I had announced on my last live I was leaving, and the guy jumped in right at the end on Facebook and started talking some smack. But I actually had to leave. I couldn't stick around. I'd done over half an hour of a live. So this time I sent it to him and I said, hey, why don't you join me on the live? So this way, if he wants to join me on the live and debate, come on. But yeah, I don't think any of these haters are going to come on. But back to the VA and VFW. So there's no one right now helping, like when these veterans, when they are experiencing problems at the VA and they start filming at the VA because it's their right, they're getting arrested and they're getting harassed, and there's no one helping these veterans. So that was the whole point of, was it last weekend stream where we did like 2 hours? We were all talking about that. We're all veterans. And yeah, wouldn't it be great? Gene's like, that would be great if the haters come on. Yeah, I've got no problem them coming on. Because that's all they want to do is talk smack about Jeremy. They don't have anything else. They're not really fans of Lynette. And Jeremy was talking about that. And yeah, that's 100% correct. But they get mad at us. They were mad at me about me doing this stuff about Amanda Martin. And I'm like, how can you get mad about that? Like that is like the dumbest thing to get mad of. You know, John Crook sent his letters. Mine is not, mine's accusatory, but mine like is based in facts, not conjecture. I'm not, Madam Mayor works for Jeremy Hales. Okay, just because they're on his property and because they do stuff with him doesn't mean that they're paid by him. Like, calm the hell down. And, oh, they're in our private files. There are no private files. There's no government, like, the only government's private files are things that are classified, which you'll never get at a state and local level. Personnel records can be sometimes kept from the public. That's a lot of times you see, like when people are, trying to find out about corrupt cops. Some places you can get their personnel files, some places you cannot. Obviously, anything about a minor is normally redacted. So yeah, there is no private files. So the fact that they were coming after me for doing that form letter, and the thing is, I haven't, like, someone was like, that's defamation. I'm like, first off, no, it's not. You need to look at what defamation actually is. There's a lot of people on both sides that I've heard, and this is pretty common. Most of the U.S. doesn't understand defamation at all. So it's not defamation, and I haven't sent any of the letters yet. They're in draft form. So, if anyone wanted to take any type of legal action against me, bring it on, because it's going to get laughed out of the courtroom. They'll be like, okay, so he posted this publicly. Yeah, and it says draft. Yeah. So the whole assumption is that's not a final version. Correct. Okay. So he's not really saying this yet. Like, this is a draft for public comment. And that's, that's public comment is always allowed. That's what makes it First Amendment. It's me using my First Amendment, you all using your First Amendment. So for defamation, I had a whole class about defamation and libel. There's Kevin. There he is. The whole thing about defamation, I saw you did a new video. I need to watch that one. I saw it yesterday while I was stopped at a stop sign. I was like going through looking for some songs to play through YouTube, and I was like, oh, Kevin's got a new video, so I got to check it out. I have not yet. Oh, it's too bad I'm not on OBS and the thing because I could do a live react to it. We'll get there. We'll do that. But for defamation, you have to show that first off that whatever someone is saying that it is false and provably false. You know, I could say that guy's a jerk. That's an opinion, okay? So it's not provably false. Like I can say anybody's a jerk. So that's not defamation. So it has to be provably false. You have to show it was done with malicious intent. So sending a letter to a government agency is not malicious intent. Unless if I were to say, I want to get her fired. That's not what I want with Amanda Martin. I want a thorough investigation. No malicious intent there. So malicious is out. And this is where John and Lynette really screwed up. They had, when they sent letters, they had malicious intent. They were telling people, oh, we're going to get them removed. We're going to get Madam Mayor removed from council and stuff like that. Did you hear about Second Cent, Conky and Jeremy's video got shut down? Someone reported they had guns. The guns were squirt guns. That just shows you like the haters. And what's funny is the people reporting that, they don't understand how YouTube and Twitter and all these different social medias work. They track who is reporting, and when you start reporting falsely, guess what? It tells the algorithm, don't listen to this guy's reports anymore. I'm gonna start dropping videos. I need to get cooking again. I've been slacking. Yeah. I've got like 3 videos I'm in the process of editing. I know I can't get to them today. That's what sucks about this. They will all come out. I want them all fired. See, this is the difference between me and Kevin. Kevin is very much like so many veteran friends. Like, no, I am getting them fired. But the thing about Kevin is, like, they've already taken actions against Kevin. Okay, that's the difference. Amanda Martin never taken an action against me. She has, in my opinion, sent her son. I think there's enough to show that she likely sent her son to attack Jeremy. And I'm saying I want that investigated. They were cap guns. Sorry, I heard squirt guns. I mean, yeah, cap guns, squirt guns. It just shows you these haters. They're the biggest watchers. And I love pointing that, like, oh, so you're watching. Like, I watched Jeremy's video from yesterday. I watched that like 11 o'clock at night. I was lying in bed, couldn't sleep. So I watched it then. When Jeremy comes out with a video, I don't immediately rush to it. Tonight, like, I do a bad job of watching his lives. What I tend to do is while I'm working, I'll turn, because his lives are so long, I'll turn them on and it's kind of like my background noise. I'll watch them, but it's kind of like my background noise as I'm doing other stuff. I love what Jeremy and George do. I support them. I just don't always get to watch that stuff as it's going. I view plenty of pew videos on YouTube. YouTube has some really weird algorithm issues and things they don't want, like Bully Mom. Hi from the Netherlands. Is your son a bully? Or are you the bully? Because either way, I kind of want to talk to you, Bully Mom. You don't watch his stuff anymore? Yeah. And, you know, for people who don't like Jeremy, you don't have to watch him. I believe it or not, I really don't watch his storage videos that much. I've seen them. I have been interested in a lot of, like, when he goes to, like, the ones I love the most are when he goes to, like, the shows and he's negotiating with people. I do enjoy those the most. I tried to send the money and it wouldn't let me. What money? Oh, you do like him, you just don't watch him. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you have 2 French bulldogs. Okay. Okay, yeah. I was watching that stream and it got so late I stopped watching. There were 2 cap guns. Yeah, it's just people. You don't follow you, so you're a casual watcher. Okay, yeah. I like them because, you know, we're both Ohio boys, so I see a lot of myself in them. and people I know. He reminds me of a couple guys I went to high school with. Um, but not everybody, these haters, it's like, why? You do realize you promote him more than anyone else. Um, I did laugh. I had a hater in my comments. I did that Kit Kat video, and I'm 44 years old, and I say it in the thing, and someone said, "You look 60." I was like, okay. First off, I always laugh at dudes who criticize what other dudes look like. I'm like, are you gay? Like, like, like women, I get why that's where women criticize each other like the most. But for dudes, it's like, why do you care what another dude looks like? Oh, I was just gonna gift a bunch of money, but it won't let me on. I don't think I have the membership thing set up, and here's why. I didn't know what content I could offer to someone paying. I actually might have some ideas on that. Um, so I've helped several people get federal government jobs, and there is a process to it. So I've considered doing some videos of showing people how to get a government job, because you can't just like send in a resume and expect it to work. In fact, when you're going to civilian companies, you want like a 1 or 2 page resume, and that's it, and that's what you're going to send to them. For the government, you want like an 100-page resume. They want a bunch of stuff. So I thought about like doing some videos to show people this, but put it behind the paywall so that if you pay for it, you're getting something of value. You don't need to. Some people just like to support you. That's true too. I think that if you don't like the way I look, don't look. Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, that's one thing. Okay, I've got a theory about these Karen videos. Okay, I've seen so many of these Karen videos out there, and most of them are middle-aged or older women. There's some where they're younger women. I probably couldn't get a federal job. I have hashed it out with Trump on my back in the day. That's hilarious. See, people are giving me a bunch of crap about the Trump shirt that I wore the other day. I love trolling, and if you don't disagree with me politically, but you've got some fun trolling stuff, God bless you. God bless you. That's hilarious. Um, but what was I talking about? Um, about the way that men look. Um, yeah, so these Karens, they're normally middle-aged to a little bit older women, and you can tell that most of them were very attractive when they were younger, but they've obviously gotten older. They can't rely on their looks anymore. And hey, I resemble that remark. Oh my God. I That reminds me of the comedian Rich Voss. Check out Rich Voss. He's hilarious, but he's notorious for saying things like, "Hey, I resemble that remark," or "Yeah, great minds think a lot." Like he always screws up the saying. Um, but yeah, like some of these women, you can tell that they just aren't given things or attention the way they used to be, back in the day. So they're kind of bitter, and it's really sad when you see the young women do it, where they're still attractive, and it's like when they do these things and they're going after people, it's like, wow, you just made yourself look so unattractive by what you're doing. Be careful now. I'm 60. I mean, you might not be, and there are some women who, as they get older, actually, like I think I've grown into my looks. I'm more confident about my looks today than anywhere else. And there's probably someone who, there's someone who says out there that I look 60. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't bother me one bit. I need attention. I'm not bitter. I just need attention. Well, I think every woman needs attention. There's a Karen for every situation there is. And when it's these dudes, oh my God, they're the worst. It's like, it's so cringeworthy when it's dudes. Like with women, women are emotional beings. It's not a bad thing. Um, so I expect women to get a little bit more emotional, but when it's a guy getting emotional, it's like, what the hell, dude? Like, you got to figure that shit out. I've worked for state and county government. I've been paid with federal funds. Okay, well, if you can get a state and county job, you can absolutely get a federal job. I know plenty of men who need attention. Yep, yep. That's fun. Went down the wrong pipe. Yeah. You know, that's when I started doing, when I left the military and I was doing construction. Um, you should check out Laura Owens' case. You'd get a kick out of it. You know, I started going down the rabbit hole. DUI guy talks about the Karen Reed situation, and I started going down that rabbit hole. And on its face, from what I saw, that looks like complete BS. I haven't gotten into it. I've seen where I believe it's Megan has been talking about the Laura Owens case. My cat's kind of going crazy. Did a critter get in the house? His tail's wagging. When his tail wags, he's in hunting mode. He could just be playing with a. So he likes bottle caps. He also likes to play with those twist ties. Okay, he's back out here, so it's probably nothing. But I'm out here in the desert. When the weather changes, everything's trying to get into your house. He has killed snakes trying to get in the house, baby ones. He has killed scorpions, tarantulas. He's killed a rat. He caught a rat. That was fun. That was several months ago. I had to put him in a Tupperware and take him out into the desert and let it go. But everything is trying to get into your space here. I missed a few shows back online now. Mad Englishman. Well, welcome to the stream. Glad to see that you're supporting Kevin, the Angry Vet. Good dude. Made some Suno songs about her baby bump. Oh yeah, that's the chick that was faking that she was pregnant, right? That's the one. I was in Tortola on her yacht. On Laura Owens' yacht. Kevin, you don't seem like you're a yacht guy. I don't think I would ever. If I were to make a list of people I've met while yachting, Kevin would be at the bottom of that list. I'm located, if you look up Joshua Tree, California, quite literally behind this camera, about a mile up the road is Joshua Tree National Park. And lots of things out here. Not only, we're like Australia out here. There's lots of things that want to kill you. She got pregnant doing 2 BJs. It's amazing, right? That's a deep swallow. Oh, the comment right above Mad English. Okay, so you were talking about Laura Owens. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anyone's comments. Yeah, Joshua Tree. Any of you that are following, if you live overseas, a lot of people from overseas love, especially Germans. I've run into so many Germans. They love Joshua Tree. But you all love coming here. And if any of you are coming here, let me know. We can link up. I even have an RV on my property that, I get friends and family that when they come out here, they want to stay. So some good camping out here. The twins in separate sides. Oh, no. Okay, so it's not Laura Owens. Mad English. Okay. SJD news guy. Okay. Oh, is that one? Is that who we're discussing? Sorry. Some days I'm a little bit slow. It's perfectly fine. We got to catch up. I'm gonna be cooking breakfast here in a little bit. I got some sausage thawing. I think I'm gonna have me some eggs and sausage. I do have some bagels, so I might have me some bagels this morning. No. Well, then just tell me, because I'm not following. I'm lost. Okay, Angry Vet is such a veteran. He's just it's not putting your comment out. Okay. He's so direct and to the point. Just no, no. Now other people, if I do that to people, they're like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And I'm like, "What? I'm just saying no." Like, and that's our veterans. We're very direct. We're very to the point. Watched MG Law last night, the court videos. I've watched several of his streams. I do need to watch some more, so I'll be doing some work around the house. Maybe I'll put up some of his videos today and check them out. Um, I do watch Anthony Cumia. I've been a big fan of Opie and Anthony for years, and I watch Anthony Cumia's show every once in a while. You hooked up with a 70-year-old, 78-year-old in Tortola. I hope this was before you were married. Uh, was she good looking? Yeah. But I've been down to Palm Springs, and that's where all the retirees are. And there was one night I was out, and I started talking to this woman. I thought she was like late 40s, early 50s. Yeah, she was in her 70s. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Good morning, Mercedes Benz. Oh, and you're in the Navy? Okay. Not, not. Were you the guy that went to the massage parlor and went with the mama-san? You liked them older? Oh my God, I love Kevin. I love Kevin. We need to do just this. I've considered doing like a Google Voice just to have veterans call in and tell their stories. She took her teeth out. Well, she liked Laura Owens. Did she get pregnant from it? Got to get your coffee. Yep, definitely. Got to get mine. So this isn't my story. So, and I actually don't know the Marine who this happened to, but I had this chief warrant officer who this was a story he used to tell, and it was hilarious. So there's a place in Okinawa called The Stage, and it's a strip club, and they do different shows. Well, that's where you'll get the banana show type of stuff, and like a girl, you put $1 on the stage, and she'll give you 4 quarters and take the dollar, if you know what I mean. So definitely has some talents with some of her female parts. But they do a raffle, and if you win the raffle, you get to go up on stage and you publicly have relations on stage, right? So there was an older woman who was there, and they had a new Marine. So everybody, when you go in, you get your raffle ticket. That Marine got every raffle ticket. Well, the number got pulled, so they pulled this Marine up on stage, and he was apparently afterwards he was like, she was so disgusting and busted, but he didn't want to be the guy to this cat is just running around the house. He is insane. What are you doing? Like, he comes running over to his water, takes one lick of his tongue of water, and now he's just kind of taking off again. Just back and forth through the hallway, full speed. But yeah, so this Marine, he didn't want to be the guy to be like, no, I'm not banging this chick on stage. He didn't want to back down. So he puts it in another hole. Okay. And the whole time, the girl is yelling at him, like everyone on stage is cheering, so you can barely hear anything. But he told the Marines afterwards, she kept yelling at me, Wong Ho, Wong Ho. So that became his nickname through all of his tour in Okinawa. From his first weekend there, he was known as Wong Ho. What's the latest on Save Harley Grace, or do you know? You know what? I haven't checked it today. Let me go in and check it. Yeah, it's not on my account, so I have to go in and check it another way. Paid $20 to see a real man. Us veterans, we get we get the weird stuff. Okay, let's check. That's a part. That's the rite of passage. So we're at 37,857. So I hope we're definitely over halfway to the goal. And then if you add in the 16,000 that Jeremy has, so that puts us at 50, about 58,000. So we're close. Yep, we're getting close. Um, in fact, on Wednesday, I'll be making another donation, and I'll probably screenshot that and push out the link again. My father was chased out of town by an Okinawan mayor back in the 70s. My father wanted to marry his daughter, who was a teacher. He was in the Air Force at the time. Yeah, there's those stories, man. They're funny. They're funny. That's I've had people recently. They're like, "Oh, you need a wife," and I'm like, "No, I've had that already." But maybe I should go get like an Asian wife. One of those that like does everything. Not that I'm like, I, not that I want that. I just don't want the drama. Like, I don't mind cleaning. I don't mind cooking. I don't mind doing that stuff around the house. I just leave the drama at the door. And you don't get it with that with Asian wives. In fact, the guy who I like, he's in the office right next to mine. His wife is Filipino, and we've talked about like Filipino with big boobs. Yeah, they're pretty much the only Asians that really come with those quite frequently. Um, my business partner wants us to take a trip to Thailand. If I do that, I want to befriend an elephant. I would love to get up close and feed an elephant and you know uh, befriend an elephant. I think that would be fun. I don't want to ride an elephant, like no. But yeah, being friendly with one. Okay, I believe that's the sheriff's helicopter circling. So that means there's someone who's wanted for some type of crime and who's hiding in the desert. And that happens out here. They come out to this side of town to like run through the open desert, which is stupid. It's like that's where you're gonna die, dude. We get like 30 people a year who die in the national park, and they're always like majority of the time they're people from LA. They always bring one water bottle, like just your standard water bottle that you walk around your office. It's like, hello, this is a freaking desert. And the other thing we say is don't leave the trails. Do not leave the trails. They're always nowhere near a trail. And it's like, why didn't you just stay on the trail? Like the trails exist for a reason. But yeah, you get these stupid people who, yeah. And then there's those that die every year. What I need to do is go out and film at the Parsons Canyon. That was named after Graham Parsons from the, I want to say the Mamas and the Papas. No, he was from the Byrds. And he used to come out here all the time, and he died. Uh, and yeah, he died, and his buddy stole his body and took it out here to Joshua Tree to one of these canyons where they used to camp and burned his body. Um, I'm late, got my coffee though. Well, welcome, Connor. Um, Harley Grace's GoFundMe not moved in a few days now, needs boosting. Yeah, I'm like every time I get paid, I'm going to be putting money in there. So yeah, every time I make a donation, I'm gonna make a post about it. Not not to be like, hey, look at me, but to be like, I'm giving just a little bit every single time, and if you give a little bit every single time, it all adds up. But how crazy is that they have uh, photos and video of Lynette leaving a 4-year-old in a car as she goes in? Like, have people not fucking learned that you can't do that? Like, what is the matter with you people? We get it out here. We get people who still leave their animals in cars this time of year. Like today it's going to be in the 80s. You don't leave your animal in the car when it's in the 80s. Like I've taken, glory places, and like it's if they don't want the animal in the store, you'd be like, okay, well, can I just tie them up out here, in the shade, especially if you're not going to be that long, or you just leave the dog or your children, at home with someone watching it. A child in the car while she shopped. Disgusting. Yes, it absolutely is. That child needs to be ripped from her just for that. Yeah. Oh, Shart. She's a special kind of stupid. Um, that's a woman who had her kids taken away from her, and she's perfectly okay with Lynette leaving the child in a car and going shopping. Imagine if the child had knocked the auto gear shift into drive. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's other things. You know, I'm going to get a little bit personal here and I'm going to tell a family story. So, my mom's side of the family has some uh, like genetic diseases that they're prone to, primarily blood diseases. Well, my one aunt had it and was a baby and passed. So they started checking all the other kids to see if they had it, and it turned out my uncle had it. And he was about Harley Grace's age, like 4 years old. So he was getting treatment in the hospital, and the nurses put him into a playpen. My grandparents weren't there because he was in and out of the hospital. My grandmother actually worked at that hospital and was in another part of it, and so the nurses were watching him, put him in this playpen. Well, in that playpen was a little girl's like toy purse with a long um, strap. Somehow it got around his neck and got caught up in the thing, and my uncle strangled. And he was there around nurses, but he was put in this playpen. They just weren't watching him closely, and they heard, thrashing around as you'll hear a kid in a playpen. Um, but yeah, you can't leave children unsupervised. You have to keep an eye on them, and you can't put a child in a vehicle and be like, "Oh, I'm going to go do my shopping." No, that the child should be taken away from her today. Today. I hope people have called CPS. No reason why a 4-year-old could not have gone into the store with her. Absolutely, absolutely. Why would you not take her in? I love you all. Thank you, Kevin. uh, we're gonna work on Kevin. We're gonna work on his social graces a bit. And this is coming from me, the guy who has no social graces. um, some people don't deserve to have. Oh, that is absolutely true. That is absolutely. I can't tell you how many bad dads I came across in the Marines. I had a Marine who, um, I was like, his wife had called me and she was like, "Can you talk to him? We need money for food. Can he, uh, if I come up there, can I get money?" And I was like talking to him, and he's like, "No." And I'm like, "It's your wife. They need money for food." And he's like, "No, they don't need it." And I started questioning him a little bit more and more. Here, this dude had put a lock on the refrigerator at their house because his family ate too much food. And I was like, look, not too many times in the Marines did I give unlawful orders. And I said, this is a potentially unlawful order, but I'm going to give it to you regardless. You are to go home right now. You are to take that lock off your refrigerator, and you are to make sure that your family is well fed. And if you don't, I will start taking actions against you. And yeah, this Marine, and um, he had just bought an Xbox, and because I remember him talking about it, and like him and the other Marines, I was like, dude, you just bought an Xbox. Those are $300. I go, and he was like, well, yeah, my family they eat too much. I'm like, what is your grocery bill? He's like, well, the last time we went, it was $125. Now this is, 10, 15 years ago. I was like, at that point, I didn't have kids. I was like, me and my wife eat over $125 in groceries a week. I go, you have 2 kids. Like, go to the freaking store, stop buying Xboxes, go to the store and get your family some freaking food. I told him, I was like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like, we literally have the ASYMCA on the base here. They give out bread on certain days. I'm like, have your wife go and pick up bread on these days. I go, that's one way. I was like, are you shopping at the commissary? No, we're going out in town. I go, shop at the commissary. It is cheaper. You don't have to pay tax. Um, I was like, look, there are these spouses groups where like the spouses share deals and stuff like that. I was like, have your wife get into that. I go, you can make it much more affordable. I go, but putting a lock on your refrigerator is ridiculous. I got a tongue lashing from Jeremy yesterday in his video because I noted the Florida statute. I did preface that Florida didn't give a crap about kids. It was not to defend LP. The law needed to be changed. Yeah. I mean, and if that's something that we need to work together, if we need to start highlighting this law needs to be changed, let's do that. That's what platforms like mine and Jeremy's, that's what we should be doing. Having watched for 3 years, it seems the whole Florida law and judicial system needs an overhaul. Well, yeah, that's uh, most of the whole U.S. judicial system absolutely needs an overhaul. Um, Florida laws, every state has some pretty messed up laws. I'm in California. We have the most jacked up laws in the country. My youngest stepdaughter was four when I came in the family. She went everywhere with me. Yeah, there are agencies trying to get a specific law changed in Florida, but it was shot down in 2023. Well, if we can do form letters, we can do petitions. I'm in Florida. I hate how the laws are all here. CPS is a joke here. CPS is a joke in a lot of places. CPS in many places is just a way to try to get into people's business. I'm not saying that's universally true, but yeah. What I run into here in California is more government doesn't want to get involved at places where it absolutely. I've been attacked on camera twice in my county. The DA here is never charged. They've never pursued any charges. That's a problem. Like once is a tragedy, twice is a problem, 3 times is systemic. So if I'm ever attacked again, there you go. But I have seen people here in San Bernardino County, and we are bigger than the state of Rhode Island. I have seen other people here get attacked and the people not be charged. You got to remember, if you get in frustrated with these people. Good morning, Skipper. It's 30 degrees here in Clare, Michigan. Well, good morning. Thank you for joining the stream. 2 awesome dogs. Good to see you again. The 34 degrees. I hope it warms up later on today. These towns and cities, they will rarely ever do anything because those are their neighbors. But when it comes to counties and the state, that's who should be stepping in. And California likes to stick its nose in the business that it should not be in, and then in business where it should be in, they don't want to stick their nose in. It's like, and all the while they want more money from us. 48 degrees in Chicago. Chicago's a cold, cold place. Every time I go to, even in the summer, Chicago is normally, like, I lived in Toledo. Chicago is normally cooler than what Toledo was. So yeah, every time I went to Chicago, I like in the summer, I made sure I took a jacket at night. But I went to Chicago, Great Lakes, all that. I used to have to go to DeKalb. So I was an equipment manager for the University of Toledo football team. We used to go into DeKalb to play Northern Illinois, and that's a cold place, and the wind picks up there and just swirls. The 2 coldest stadiums I've ever been in were Northern Illinois and DeKalb, and Central Michigan up in Mount Pleasant. I need to get me some more coffee. So a friend of mine asked me if I would start doing Pilates with her. Oh, good morning, Joseph. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you're down in Ontario. You're not far from me. I was down there in on Wednesday. I was down in Loma Linda. 67 rainy in Northwest Florida. Nasty day out. I got to get down there to Pensacola area. You're in Ontario, Canada. Ontario, Canada is beautiful. The place I want to go in Canada is Montreal. I'd love to see Montreal. Um, but yeah, so a friend of mine, she was asking me yesterday if I would do Pilates with her, and I told her I've got this big kitchen, like I could do yoga Pilates in this kitchen. Like I do want to take down this one wall to make my living room kitchen all like a big open air concept thing, but baby steps, baby steps. I'm still doing little stuff for this place. Um, so yeah, that's the so I might be doing that because I'm not doing anything right now. I was back working out and doing some stuff, um, but I tore a muscle in my lower back, and it's one that goes right through, like right through my butt down my leg. It's healing. It's been like 3 weeks. It's starting to heal. I've been taking a lot of ibuprofen. Yeah, it sucks getting old. I can't run anymore. I used to be, even though I don't have a runner's body, I used to be able to run. It was great when I was in the Marines because I could just, especially for distance, just hop out on the road and just go. Um, like 8 miles was nothing. I've never run a half marathon or a marathon, um, but I probably should have because I used to be able to just keep a steady pace. I wasn't always the fastest guy, but you know I when I'm training for running, I do get fast. My fastest time in a Marine PFT that I ever ran is I ran 3 miles in 19 minutes and 4 seconds. And then my second fastest time was what actually when I was younger, I did 19 minutes, 10 seconds. So, a little bit over a 6 minute mile. Um, that's, got to be in good shape to do that. Now, if if I were to run today, I could easily do 24 minutes, easy. It'll frick my body up. Good morning, Les. We got Les joining us on Facebook this morning. That's I don't get a lot of comments from Facebook normally. Normally it's Twitter and YouTube. In fact, let me go look. Uh, let's see how many people are watching on Twitter. Um, Open live video. Okay, we got 13 on Twitter. Okay. Everybody, if you would hit the like button, I appreciate y'all being here. Nothing too organized this morning, just doing the coffee. Oh, now my cat is gonna pee and stare at me while he's peeing. I have to be alpha and stare back at him. I don't get animals' obsession with looking at you while they go to the bathroom and wanting to go in and watch you go to the bathroom. The cat, like, so I have to close the bathroom door if I'm going to take a shower because he likes to go in and sit there, but he will like watch. He'll be on the other side. Yeah, conspiracy kitty, you got it, Les. He likes to be outside of the shower and watch through the shower curtain, and as he sees my shadow, he'll bat at it. So like he beats the crap out of my shower curtain, and then it gets torn and whatnot from his claws. So I'm still buying cheap shower curtains until I get him out of the habit of coming into the bathroom when I take a shower. Kang, you want to come up here? Oh, that means Glory's got to come up and be seen. Hi, Glory. Yeah, Kang, you want to come up here? The dog can't get you up here. He was up here a little bit earlier. I know. Glory's all like, "Oh, you gotta love me. Gotta love me." You want me to stay home today? No shopping? Stay home? We'll go outside and work? You're like, "Oh, I like being outside." get those bunnies out of here. We've had a lot of bunnies in the yard. I got to put up a fence because if the bunnies are coming in the yard, that means that the coyotes are going to want to come in the yard. So whoever put in my fence was stupid. They 10 feet between the posts. I'm like, oh, that's a horrible idea. So I got to sink some posts in and try, because where the fence is starting to fall over, get it back up. But it's not going to be a permanent fix. And then the spots where the fence already fell down, I'm just going to cut that off, put in some 8-foot tall 4x4s and some chicken wire, and that'll be a good temporary fence until I figure out what I'm going to do. But just so the animals, I'm going to put some gates on the house. What I really want to do is I want to create a stone wall for the front of the house. Have something really nice that when people come up to it, and I'll probably I got to get some, and if anyone, I haven't done masonry work in easy 20 years. So if anyone has any good ideas, but I'm going to have to start buying rebar because I'm at the top of the hill, but we get flash flooding here. So it flows through my property. So I do have to be careful about making sure that I've got a good foundation if I build a stone wall, because I'm only going to go like 3 feet. But even with that 3 feet, I don't want it to topple over. So I got to make sure that I'm not doing anything crazy with the wall and that it's got a good solid foundation. So I got to start buying rebar. It's cheaper to do it yourself, and mistakes are expensive. So I'm studying up on that before I decide to tackle that project. Hey, you stay out of there. Dog trying to stick her head in the kitty litter box. No, thank you. These two, we got a bit of a standoff going. They were playing earlier this morning. I got to get the second draft of the complaint form letter of Amanda Martin. I got to do that. I don't know if I'll get to that today, though. Definitely tomorrow. I'll be doing a lot of office work tomorrow, so I'll be sitting at a desk and get that done. You guys can always email me or DM me. In fact, I didn't open up my email today. I've been having some problems with my Proton Mail. Like, it hasn't been sent me in the notifications. Okay. There we go. There we go. So yeah, no new emails. If you ever want to email me, I don't have it in the thing. I normally have the scroll bar. It's veterannation@protonmail.com. So if you guys ever want to email me, but you can always DM me, especially on Twitter and Instagram. I get those. I check those all day long. I'm getting better at checking my my Facebook DMs as well. Some people just don't want to put their comments in the public, and that's perfectly fine. Some of you, like Jane, me and Jane had a really nice discussion the other day via DM. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Just know that if you're sending me a friend request on Facebook, I probably will not accept it, only because I have family and stuff, like pictures and private information on my Facebook, and there are some trolls out there who have already tried to interrupt my life, so I'm not going to give them any ammunition. I really don't post anything private onto any of my other stuff, like nothing that I don't care if it gets out there. But with Facebook, people can tag you and put information. Like, I remember I was doing a trip a few years ago, and I didn't want to deal. There were some people I knew that if they found out I was on the trip, they were going to give me some drama, and I didn't want to deal with it. So I just didn't post that I was going on the trip. Well, like 2 days before, someone who was also going on the trip said, "Can't wait for our trip," and then tagged a bunch of us, and I had to deal with some fallout. I just ignored it. I was like, you know what? I can ignore something for 2 days and then be on my trip. But when I came back, it was dumb, dumb crap. Like, I just don't get why people care what other people do. For me, freedom is when people do not give a shit what you do. That's what freedom is. My neighbor's doing something over at his house and I don't care. He's got freedom. Now, if he starts doing something that's going to affect me and I start caring about it, no, he doesn't have freedom. That's, like John Lynette, all their posts. I remember all their posts from back in April of last year of posting all their stuff about Jeremy driving up and down the roads and about the Grangers. They accused the Grangers of calling CPS. And I was like, no, it was Harley's family. And it was, we now know it was also the meth heads they were bringing on their property, but yet they blame the Grangers, they blame Jeremy. And it's like, these are people who just are stirring drama. I have an old wood fence, but now putting up PVC. My cat was in the backyard. Dog chased it, flew through the fence like butter. So they used to have a privacy fence and a part of this property, but you can't do privacy fences out here without crossbars. And most people don't know that. So they'll put up a privacy fence 2-3 years later. We get the high winds and now their fences are falling apart. What you have to do is you put in the post, but then you take a picket, cut it a little bit, and then put it like diagonal, and that will reinforce it so that like you need some really powerful wind if you've shorted up that way. But people just don't know to do that. I have a chain link fence. Like I said, other than that corner, they put a privacy fence because they didn't want the neighbors over there saying, they seem like nice people. I don't care what they do. Yeah, and so I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna put up some gates first. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some some 4x4s, sink them in the ground, and then for the gates, I'm just gonna take 2x4s, square it up, and then have chicken wire in the middle, so that way the wind blows right through it. And that's what I'm gonna do for some gates. Yeah, I'll be working on those probably next month. That'll be next month's project, but I'll get these gates up and then get the chicken wire and close that off. So at least then I just can let the dog out and I don't have to worry about coyotes being in the yard. They can still get in the yard, but it's harder for them. And the other thing is, once I start putting these things up, what I've been doing is I've been putting those little solar lights from the dollar store. You put those on. They don't illuminate everything, but they give enough light that the coyotes don't want to come in. The coyotes don't like it when it's bright. They hunt nocturnally for that reason. Then the next thing is I think I'm going to enclose my porch. I've got an open air porch, which I got to go out there and clean today. But I think I'm going to enclose it. So, would you guys want videos of me doing that stuff? I follow a lot of people's YouTube channels when they're doing stuff like that, just to see are they doing it better? Is there something that they're doing that I should be doing? So I do follow people for stuff like that. I just don't know. I'm always looking what's a way to do things better, cheaper, easier. Hurricane Ian didn't help. My metal shed flipped upside down and was destroyed. That's Florida. Yeah. I had a metal shed out here and it didn't come with any anchoring stuff. And we were getting high winds and I'd already ordered the stuff to anchor it. It just didn't get here in time. And yeah, my shed was blown over. Like the doors were knocked off and I couldn't put the doors back on, but I'm like, you know what? I can still use this shed. So I moved it to the one side of the house. It doesn't look like the greatest thing, but I'm now putting wood in it to kind of shore that up. But now there's stuff in it that it's not going to blow away. Plus the side of the house it's on now, it's not going to get any wind. Well, light wind. But yeah, so, and it's stuff that it's out of sight, out of mind. Could someone come in? It's like, okay, well, if you want, a lot of it's junk. I just keep it like spare parts and stuff because you never know. My dad taught me oh yeah, save this because you never know if it breaks, you got another one, or you can take parts off it. So that's the type of stuff. Like I threw them all into like old Rubbermaids, and that's what's in there. It's like, oh, you want to take my parts to you know the different stuff I have. Go right ahead. You're not getting my tools. You're not getting any of my like good stuff. Um, and that's what the whole thing with the shed is going to be for. In fact, I got to go get some T111 siding and uh, finish up that shed. I got to build doors for that shed too. I'm trying to think if I should do 2 doors or just one big door. Kind of thinking a part of me wants to do two because they're lighter, but it's a little bit more work. We'll see. Or if I do one big one, I might do Dutch doors. That could be good too. That helps with the weight distribution. Okay, so Kitty is finally relaxed. uh, yeah, so I don't think. So, for those of you who know the haters, this is Scott Sloan. I offered him an invite to come on the show this morning. I'm not seeing anything. So, yeah, Scott doesn't want to come on this. Doesn't want to come on, I guess. He'll come in. He's probably watching, and he's gonna wait until like I'm ending, and then be like, "Oh, see, yeah, you ran." It's like, no, I do have stuff I have to get to during the day. What do you want? What do you want? Just pets? I'm looking. Today is Tony Danza's 73rd birthday. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. I can't do a good Tony Danza. Uh, yeah. So Scott he didn't like my form letter about Amanda Martin. He had a real problem with it. So if you're watching, Scott, just put a comment and come on the stream. We'll debate about it. Mine had junk. Just pitched it all and let a metal guy take it all. Yeah, we do have a lot of metal recycling places out here. In fact, that's where I got to take the doors down, and I got to take those and recycle them. So yeah, I'm waiting to hear. Like, I can't plan my day out. I've got other people who want me to do stuff today, and I'm like, okay, well, first people that first people that let me know what's going on. Um, you know, I'll I'll go ahead and plan my day. Scott Sloan is an interesting character. No, he didn't like a lot of. I used to know a Scott Sloan. He's a radio DJ in Cincinnati. Different guy, but he used to be a radio DJ in Toledo, and I got to know him and a couple of the other guys through my work with the football team. So when I first saw him posting, I was like, "Oh, is this Scott? The one that I know?" But no, not him. Different guy. From what I understand, he's a convicted criminal. The guy going after me. Don't know. It wouldn't surprise me though, because I've already had from the haters group. I've had because the pedophile, the guy who was posting all the stuff with Jeremy, he came after me first, and then I had the guy from his son's a serial killer up in Alaska, and he came after me. So those are the type of people that John and Lynette have in their groups and their sphere of influence. Just not good people. Not good people. That was there was one thing. There was this thing. Okay, so I did go down. Yeah, you seen there's. Yeah, he is. Oh, I've been told yes. I have not seen the receipts. If you have them, feel free to send them to me. Um, so I did want to talk about this, the Langley Schools Music Project. This was on YouTube, and I had it went viral a couple years ago, and I remember hearing a little bit about it, but I didn't look into it too much. And pretty much, this guy was going through an old thrift store, and he finds this cat feeder. He finds this record called the Langley Schools Music Project. And so he's like, "Oh, I'll just take a look at it." And they, he was just infatuated by this music. It was a middle school, I believe. And what had happened is this guy who was a musician, and he was kind of down on his luck. So he goes up to well, I don't know if he was already Canadian or if he was gonna be Canadian, but he goes to a Canadian middle school, starts working there as the music teacher. Well, he had all these skills about, producing music and everything, that he decided to create a record and sell it to the kids' families. And the record was going to be all the kids, you know, with their band instruments and everything. And like they made this record. It was forgotten about, and someone had turned over the record. Uh, uh, yeah, they turned over the record to a thrift shop, and this now random guy finds it, and he starts doing this research, and is like, "What is going on with this? Like, with these kids? Like, what is this?" And that's where like it gets rediscovered, but it was all covers of very popular songs from the '60s and '70s, and they actually took the these kids' music to the artists. Like David Bowie was one of them, and I really went down the rabbit hole on this, and it's this snapshot in time of these people, but it also shows you the effect that this music has had on people's lives. Um, Let me see if this is, because they did a bunch of, yeah, they did a bunch of covers. Langley Schools Music Project. And like now, music historians are like, no, this is an important record. So yeah, right there it is. They're talking about this is an important record. Yeah, it was called Innocence and Despair. 19 songs, and just pretty interesting. What are the let's see the way they have it written? Okay, Venus and Mars Rock Show. What's this one? Good Vibrations, God Only Knows, Space Odyssey. Um, yeah, these songs. What? Come on. I hate the way YouTube does things sometimes. Band on the Run. Here, let's see if we can play one. But I just thought it was really fascinating. But these kids were actually pretty decent musicians for, you know, just a band class in middle school. Like I was in band in middle school. I was in the choir in middle school. I was better at choir, but I wasn't in the band, but we did have a music class where we had to play instruments. Band was a whole separate thing. But these kids actually weren't that bad. Um, which song is this one? So, Band on the Run. Oh wait, no. Hey. So I was pretty fascinated by this, and just reading all the people who had talked about it, you know. Uh, but I mean, it's a pretty good. It's funny how those things kind of become like little time capsules for us, and so I went down that rabbit hole, and I thought it was pretty fascinating. Um, I'm just looking what the Hales had a quite possible. So Jeremy posted this here. It's quite possibly my favorite screenshot showing who she really is: guilty, manipulator, user of people, pathological liar. She says, Angela is an effing mole, or she's a tard. I was talking to her privately. She sent my screenshot over to people that are posting about the t-shirts and told them that I said Jeremy lied in court. Oh my, she's gonna effing bury me. Yeah, that's a. You know, I've got a lot of screenshots um, of like things that Lynette has said and did. So also some of the idiots too. Um, like here's one that I have. Um, she sent to Pete Blunderbuss. He said, unless stated somewhere, there would be no real evidence that he put them up to this. Jeremy would just deny it, even if he did. And then Lynette, and damn it. So yeah, I do have the receipts and the screenshots. Um, no one's saying he did it directly. He's doing it. They're doing it because of everything he's posting about me and my family. That's obvious to anyone that looks at it, and the judge will realize and see that as well. A person who's never had a nasty message in their life, okay, Lynette, and all of a sudden is being bombarded with hundreds of phone calls, burping, farting, calling me a whore, saying I should be dead, my daughter needs to be taken away. I never got those before, but I'm getting them now. And the who's the cause, Jeremy? Like, okay, you took your daughter to court, you crazy bee. You took your own daughter to court, but you've never had nasty messages. Sure you didn't. Um, and these are all from late last year. Some of these, like I'm glad I saved some of these, um, like the delusion. Like here's another one of hers. To all the residents of Otter Creek that are on here, which isn't many, you all know, and most everyone has told us that you have embraced us and you like us, and we have helped give out food to our neighbors. You had old bread. We've done a bit for our community, and so far we keep to ourselves. We don't do anything harmful to anyone. Really, John didn't send. You didn't say that the Grangers called CPS. John didn't send um, things into the ethics board trying to say that the mayor worked for Jeremy and was giving access to private files. Really. Um, we're not bothering you. Leave us alone. I don't understand why you have to continue to play this game, because you know that what this dude is saying is a lie. You know it. That's what bothers me so much, is that you know and he's lying, but you still embrace it and hold on to it and use it to hurt us. Stop it. I'm asking you to stop, please. To everyone else, I ask to pray for them, pray for this family, pray that they open their eyes and realize the truth, and that they're helping someone hurt someone else for no reason. There is no reason for it. And you know it. You drive by, you see our property, you know there's no tents full of meth addicts. There were meth addicts. We didn't say tents. There was one tent once, I believe, but you just put them in the shed. You know there's no sewer running across our property. No, you poop in a bucket. I got my bucket over here. I don't have a toilet lid on it. You know we have a brand new septic system. I'm just gonna leave that one alone. You know the truth, but you choose to embrace the lies of this person, and it is sick. I'm asking you to stop. Please leave my family alone. Please, everybody, pray for them. Pray that they see the light and they stop. That's all I can ask. Just that they stop. We're not bothering anybody, and we don't want anyone to bother us. It's that simple. This is from September. Now remember, the signs were posted about Jeremy in, it was either June or July. So they're not bothering anyone. They're just putting up really nasty signs about her. Look, I've saved a bunch of this stuff. Let me go through, because I could tell she was freaking nuts. Um, Yeah, these are still in September. I gotta go way back. Hold on. What's this one? Um, this one I love. I had to go back. Okay, so there it is. I had to go back to the poop background. I can't help it. I want to make something very straight. Neither I nor John Cook have STDs. I did not meet Sarah, she means Shara, at an STD sex site. See comments. Still. uh, where's some of this stuff? Who is this one? I think that was the. I'm looking through these. I apologize. They can't feed the turtles or themselves. How did they pay for a septic system? um, I think they. I think there was already a septic system. I think they just tied into it and they had to have it cleaned. And that's the thing. That people, if you have a septic system, most people think, well, my septic's full because the water comes up to the top. Water is supposed to come up to the top. I've seen so many people get ripped off by these septic cleaning places. They're like, "Oh no, see the water's up the top. We gotta clean that out." The sludge at the bottom, the waste at the bottom, is to sit there and it over time, decomposes and everything. Not all of it, but most of it, and the water comes out of it, and that's supposed to fill up the tank and then leach back it on your leach line, and it goes. Your leach line will be underground, and it puts that water back into your. What are you doing, cat? Come on. It puts that water back into your yard. Now it's granted it's several feet under. I don't drink it, but it's obviously can be like fertilizer and whatnot. Oh, Conspiracy Kitty did jump up here. You coming over here? Well, I know you're coming over, but the kitty, is he gonna come on camera? Yeah, come here. No, you're just gonna lay down. But yeah, I've seen people pay money for septic systems, to have it, drained when it does not need to be drained. When the solid waste starts coming up to the top, that's when you got to have it emptied professionally. But the water, it's supposed to fill with water, water and pee. Yeah, I'm looking. Where is? I saved a lot of this stuff. That's from August. Yeah, go. I love every once in a while going through Lynette's old stuff where because her and John like to talk tough. They're not talking tough anymore. Not now that they're feeling the weight of the judicial system, they're not talking tough anymore. So here's another screenshot, and Patricia says, "Isn't there anything they can do to stop this jerk? Sorry y'all are going through this." Marla says, "Call the phone company. They have ways they can help." So this is obviously about people calling her publicly posted phone number that she posted. Yeah, I have them on my phone. I had to leave the phone on in case John sees something on the camera and needs to get a hold of me, or I leave it on my grandson in case he needs me in an emergency. It doesn't happen very often. Grandson doesn't even live in Florida. Um, it doesn't happen very often, and I don't think that guy will call again after I said to him. He stopped calling after I said what I said. Like, you literally wanted people to call your thing, and yeah, you're gonna get trolls. Low power. We might have to end the stream. It's not charging my thing apparently. It says it's plugged in. It says it's taking a charge. Okay, maybe it's just draining it faster than I can. So I just want to read a couple more. Here, this one she talks about lawyers. So yeah, here's Lynette. Another poster, John. But what would all of his lawyers do? They need jobs. Lynette says, "You obviously missed it, so I'll show it to you now." And now I believe she's responding to one of Jeremy's videos that she doesn't watch. Ma'am, I'm going to answer this. Your God has to be the 100th or the 10th person to ask this reason. We keep the page going the way it is because CPS has been to my door. Fishing game has been to my door. They've called the Better Business Bureau. They've called the IRS. They called, so they say that income tax, that they've called all these agencies. So I've been told by the agencies that the only thing I can do is dispute the lies, show the truth, so that hopefully the people that are watching him will see the truth and stop bothering me, stop hurting me. So that, okay, now first off, this is what a cease and desist is for. This is why Jeremy sent her one. Cease and desist is stop whatever you're doing. In Jeremy's case, it was you're talking about us, stop talking about us. She ignored the cease and desist. So that's why she's in court now. She chose to ignore, but she says, "Oh, they're telling us to post about the lies here." No, they haven't said that. So that's what we're doing. The channel was made, or the page was made, exactly for what you said, but we cannot let Jeremy continue to do this. We cannot, what he's done to me, what he's done to Mary, what he's done to us has been horrific. It's wrong to put, and when she talks about Mary, she spells it like marrying someone. So I do find that funny. It's been horrific when he put a 77-year-old woman in the hospital with a stroke. Okay, so she's talking about Mary. And yeah, that's not how any of that works. But again, she's making defamatory accusations against Jeremy after she received a cease and desist. And she's mad that people are calling her, but yet she's continuing bad behavior. Oh, we got to fight for Mary. No, you don't. No, you don't. Let Mary and Jeremy work out their stuff. Mary left town hall for the most part. Jeremy has left her alone. There's other than the emails of discovering the corruption, there's nothing else happening with that. But she thinks that because she doesn't agree with what Jeremy says about Mary, that gives her the right to jump in and defame Jeremy. But you think that's okay, right? That's the whole thing that we don't understand is how you fans think that it's okay. What he does is okay, but us disputing it, no, you're not disputing it. You're making allegations. You're not disputing it. But us disputing it and saying how, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. Or no, we didn't do this. We did this. That's wrong, man. You need to get your priorities straight and figure out that we're doing this because we're being forced to. No one is forcing you to do anything. You chose to ignore the cease and desist. You chose to make this post. No one's forcing you. He has ruined my life. Drama much? And has ruined my tortoise rescue. He took the food right out of their mouths with lies he's making people. Well, okay, was the bread for the tortoises or was the bread for the neighbors? Because in the other post, she said the bread was for the neighbors. It was old bread. Not Piggly Wiggly, Winn-Dixie said the reason why Winn-Dixie was giving it away is because they can't sell it to people. So I've got more. I've saved a lot of these for months because it's funny. I got some from Sail Away as well. So yeah, I was saving all these, and it's funny. Like her word salad is excruciating. I think she does protest too much. Oh yeah, all this is her creation, and then when it comes back on her, she thinks you're only entitled to respond one way, which is wrong. But yeah, they brought all of this on themselves. They created the problem. Jeremy offered him a season. Just stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. And had they done that, Jeremy likely would have moved on and stopped talking about her on the channel. Like that's if you're going to respond to a C&D, that's how you respond to it. Okay, I will honor the terms that you're doing, but in response, I expect you to honor these terms. It's quite literally a negotiation. And then, that's you know, if you say it that way, be like, I won't talk about you, but provided that you stop talking about me, that's how you respond. And everybody just goes their separate ways. Don't have to go for civil protection orders or injunctions, any of that stuff. But not Lynette. Not Lynette. I was looking in there. There is a thing where she talks about how they got the C&D and they will not be stopped. And it's like, you dummy. You dummy. Like a C&D is a warning. That's what that is. Bombs going off on base. Oh, actually, no, that's an airplane. That's an airplane. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for all joining me. Is Scott Sloan? You gonna jump in at the end? Talk about how I'm avoiding you? We'll see. Gave him ample opportunity. We did over an hour and almost an hour and a half of live streaming today, and I DM'd this to him. In fact, here, I'll show you all. Debate me on a live, right there to Scott. But Scott didn't want to jump in. He was probably doing something, but if he did get it and didn't, we know who the coward is. But Scott, when you watch this, if you want to come on, we will have a discussion. I don't care. I'll have you on. And if Marla wants to jump in, come on, Marla. I'll have you on the show. It'll be entertaining for the audience. So, all right, I got to get stuff done today. You all, thank you for joining. Scott Sloan is all talk. Oh yeah. All the people in their thing, they're all talk. Yeah, none of them are stand-up people. They're not people of principle. So, but we are here. Feel free to DM me. I appreciate all the constructive criticism I'm getting on the form letter. So if I can get to that today, I will, but most likely I'll get to that tomorrow. Get a second and a third draft out there. The drafts as they go, they always get better. And then hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have a form letter that we can all download, send. I'm going to put at the bottom the different agencies that we should send them to. Yeah, I'll be looking up those addresses and putting those in there. So thank you for all of you who've given your input. Make sure you donate to Harley Grace. We got to get that up. Also, feel free to, on the community tab of my YouTube page, I've got the GoFundMe for Carl Hughes. Carl's a good veteran doing good stuff. So make sure you donate to him if you can. Help him with his medical bills. And other than that, everyone, thank you for being here and thank you for being worth serving.